Welcome you back here, 1-1, a 25-23 win in the first set for the Crimson Wave, and then a dominant 25-14 win for the Cougars in the second set. 1-1 here in Whiting, Indiana, CCSJ against SXU. I'm Kyle Mathas. You're watching the JEDTV Sports Network, and we're ready for this third set. Looks like it's going to be Samantha Hovey again to get things underway. And Keel hits that off the face of Haynes, and that's a great start, at least for the Cougars, to this third set. Another mistake, and what a start for Hovey to this third set. 2 service aces, as Camino couldn't keep that up. Essence Keel digs this one out. Van Domelin blocked down, and they're going to say that point is to the Cougars. Blocked by Bourne as well as Smith. Combination of both. 3-0 on the third set. That one is out. So 3-1. The thing about this is that the Crimson Wave can't get too far down. They were down by as much as 9 points last set, and they did not come back. They lost by 11. Haynes is going to serve this. Middle blocker with the hit. It's Smith, kept alive, not quite. Lopez can't keep it up, and Smith will get credited for the kill. So we're going to see Jenny Jensen come back into the game, the senior, and she dominated that second set over on the left side, and she's back on that left side. She's a big reason why it was such a lopsided second set win for the Cougars. Van Domelin, what a dig by Martinez. Jensen again tries to attack the far side, and that's going to hit the line, and it's in. 5-1. Jensen is so dominant, and Crimson Wave just aren't able to get up to block that quick enough. Hoskin to serve, comes up short, an error. Well, last season, St. Xavier had a really good year. I mean, they've been a part of the NAIA. They've been a pretty dominant team in the NAIA, I should say, but they went 19-12, a 13-1 conference record, and so they expect big things this season. Smith kept up by Haynes. Keel's going to send this one over. They set up Smith, blocked down again by Pritchett. Pritchett again. Camino's going to get a shot at this. Here's Keel. Blocked by the Cougars. Crimson Wave reset with Camino. Oh, Martinez with a dig, but that goes right into the net. I cannot lie. Havana Martinez has been very good tonight with the digs. 75 digs coming into this game on the season. Leads the team. That one hits the net and out on Van Domelin's serve. Carrington Smith is going to serve. Camino's the one to keep that up. Essence Keel blocked. Van Domelin to the far side, dug out there nicely by Hovey. Van Domelin not the best keep up, but she gets the bailout. Camino sends it in. Another amazing rally in this game, and what a nice play by Pritchett to go long. And there's a nice rally and results in a Crimson Wave point. De Jesus was an assistant for the men's volleyball team here before getting the head coaching job here for the women's team. Coaches at Kealoha Volleyball Club before this, and a lot of the players on this team actually, or a couple of them I should say, actually came from that club. There's a net violation. It's going to go on Pritchett. Point to the Cougars. But a couple, like I was saying, a couple players played for that volleyball club that head coach De Jesus coached and coaches for right now. So some connections on the international level, the local level, but De Jesus said he wanted to focus on recruiting more local talent, even though NAIA colleges usually go international. That one, I think, just in. Pritchett again. Seven to 5, and Coach Hearsima for the Cougars saying slow down to his team, trying to get his team to calm down a little bit. There's a mistake on the serve by Pritchett, and she knew it immediately. Coming into this game, CCSJ, with 74 errors on serves. Here's Taylor Van again, and she's been pretty good serving tonight. Van Domelen with a tough keep up, and what a nice keep up there by Lopez. Had to run so far, and then finishing it off on the chaos was Hovey. Crimson Wave were all out of sorts on that one. 9-5 is the score. Whoever wins this set will be one set away from winning this match and getting their second win of the season. Camino's going to have to spike that one from a long distance away, and this is kept alive. No, it's not. Grochola right on the doorstep. Hit a couple players, including Essence Keel and Lopez, and we're going to get a timeout from De Jesus to talk things over. 10-5 lead. Welcome you back. 10-5 lead for the Cougars and a 1-1 tie in terms of sets. CCSJ women's volleyball here in Whiting. It's a beautiful day outside today, and it's starting to heat up in here. Van Domelen with a really good spike and an even better dig there from Taylor Van. Haynes keeps it alive. Van Domelen comes up just too low on that one, and it's 11-5. Van, Essence Keel did the smart thing. She was actually in the line of fire for that serve, but she just got out of the way, and it's long, so it's an error. Point to the Crimson Wave, but Essence Keel had to duck out of the way of that one because she was right where that thing was landing. Nice, great play there from Kaylee Bourne. A little tap, and easy again by Grochola. She didn't really spike it too hard. She just tapped it up, and Crimson Wave, Van Domelen, and Carrito, who've been really good on the net tonight, weren't able to see that one coming. Here's Martinez now. They're going to set up Camino. Comes back over to this Crimson Wave side. Van Domelen blocked and kept alive by Martinez. Oh, what a dig there. Unbelievable dig by Lopez. Camino sends it over. They keep it alive. Here's Bourne. Keel lets it go, and I think that's just on the line. De Jesus thought that was out. I don't think the fans are a big fan of that, but there's a couple of fans on the far side in the bleachers, and they thought it was out. But it's 13-6. Martinez, and that one's out. There's no doubt about that. De Jesus basically saying to the line judge over there, you better call that out. But 13-7. This is kind of feeling like a little bit like that second set. CCSJ just staying in it, but the Cougars just staying far enough ahead so that they can feel comfortable. Here's Bourne. Oh, it's blocked down. Oh, Martinez with what a dig by Martinez to keep that alive. Keel, that's out. Well, that was all of Anna Martinez to keep that up right in front of us. 14-7. That was blocked nicely by Carrito and by Lopez, but Martinez showing off and an amazing dig, and there's going to be a timeout after that one by De Jesus after a crazy back-breaking play. 14-7, St. Xavier in the... We welcome you back. 14-7 lead for St. Xavier. Here in this third set, 1-1. Essence Keel's going to get a good look, but she taps it over lightly. Here's Bourne, Kaylee Bourne. And that's a mistake there by St. Xavier. Samantha Hovey came up short. And the point to the Crimson Wave. Melina Haynes is going to get the serve now. The transfer from Siena Heights University. It's actually where Coach De Jesus played in his collegiate volleyball. What a dig there by Lopez. Camino comes up short from the back row. But I bet that for Melina Haynes to come here and to transfer from Siena Heights, I think Coach De Jesus playing there in his collegiate days probably impacted that pretty significantly. Camino. Van Domelen. Oh, that's just took an awkward deflection off of Smith and Jensen. So it's going to be a kill for Van Domelen. Now she's going to serve. Martinez with another amazing dig. Jensen on the far side. Van Domelen trying to keep it alive, but it just goes out of play. And 16-9 is the score. St. Xavier just keeping themselves ahead by 6 or 7 points. And it just feels like they feel pretty comfortable where they're at right now. They don't feel, at least from what I can see, like they feel too much pressure right now. Keel keeps it up. Now she's going to get the spike. Middle blocker with the hit. They're going to set him up again, and that's a beautiful play. Again by Grochola, who's been a factor at the net. I mean, the net presence for St. Xavier tonight has been really, really good. And like I said before, that's exactly what Coach Hiersema was saying. Heading into this game, they have to be a presence at the net. They have to dominate at the net. Camino from the back row. That's a really good spike, even better dig. And a mistake on the spike by Pinozzo is going to go the way of CCSJ. Nice tap up there by the freshman, and it leads to a Camino kill. And that was the freshman on that play, Olivia Beecher, the freshman from Hammond, Indiana, not too far from here, one town over, but she gets some experience off the bench, and there's a mistake by Keel. Brings it right back up to 7. 18-11 now. Every time the Crimson Wave get a point, it seems like the Cougars are just right back to bringing this lead right back to 7 points. Abby Opilka will serve. Kept up by Haynes nicely to Camino. From the back row, Keel. Oh, that was a mistake by St. Xavier. If they hadn't sent so many players forward, they would have had somebody on the back row to get that, but it's a mistake, and it's a rare mistake from a team as prestigious in women's volleyball like St. Xavier. It was Pritchett on the serve. Tapped up nicely there by Hovey, kept alive, and there's a mistake. It was Olivia Beecher, the freshman, who is one of the players that De Jesus talked about getting more experience. She's just a freshman, and the transition from high school to collegiate volleyball is a big one, according to De Jesus. And he talked about how he liked the first few games being against such good opponents to give these players experience, including Beecher. Keel sends it over. Oh, and there's a big miscommunication play out of St. Xavier, but even though they make these mistakes, they're still smiling about it, and they still have that 7-point lead, or 6 right now at least. Just shows that they've been in these games before. They've been in these situations. They've been in close games. A dig comes right back over to the side of the Crimson Wave. What a spike by Camino and an even better dig by Opilka. Now Keel's going to get the dig, but there's a little bit of net interference right there again on the Crimson Wave. It's been a talking point tonight. The amount of times the Cougars have gotten points off of net interference. 20-13. Havana Martinez just over the net. What a dig by Keel. That's just out of play. Camino thought it was in, but just out. 21-13. Essence Keel. Dug up by St. Xavier right at the net. It was always going to be a tough play, but you can't keep it up with Carrington Smith. Initially, it was Hovey who was there. I think 7's got to be the magic number in this set at least, because it's been a pretty consistent number that St. Xavier has been up by in this game. Camino kept alive. Carrington Smith kept alive by the Crimson Wave. Camino sends it to the back. Carrington Smith again is blocked, and Martinez with another dig. Unbelievable the way she's been able to keep these up, but it's finished off there nicely by Regina Carrito. Carrito's been a big factor at the net in blocking, but she finally gets a kill in this game. Camino again to serve. Far side kept alive by Haynes. Essence Keel with a little dink over the top. A nifty move by Essence Keel. That right there is the experience out of a transfer from another college like Olive Harvey. 21-16, timeout called by St. Xavier. We will take a break. Or actually, we will stay here, excuse me. 21-16 is the score, and it's been a very competitive game, but this season for the CCSJ Crimson Wave, not like the last. De Jesus has made that known. His second season at the helm of this program. Took over in May of 2024 for this program, and last season they didn't get a win. Took them almost 2 years to get a win, but I mean, just this game alone is proving how this is different. This is a different team, because last season St. Xavier won both games in straight sets. Now we're tied 1-1 in this game right now. And yes, Coach Hiroshima did say that he lost a lot of key players on that team last year for St. Xavier. They graduated, but this team's a little young. They're a little inexperienced, but CCSJ's keeping up with some of the big teams like St. Xavier in this conference. And St. Xavier and CCSJ, by the way, both 0-1 in the conference to open things. Viterbo, the team that beat St. Xavier on Saturday, leads the conference at 2-0. They're number 12 in the nation. Only ranked team out of the CCAC. Nice keep alive by Haynes. Tough play by Viterbo that hits the top of the net out of play. 22-16. That was a really good dig by Haynes, but an awkward set by Lopez. It's going to be Hovey again. Hovey's got an interesting story. We'll get more into her in a minute. Essence Keel kept up by Martinez. Carrington Smith cannot get it down. Lopez gets it alive, and here's Keel. Great dig there by Van. Another awkward setup, but this one's going to go out of play. It's going to go to the Crimson Wave. Tipped out of bounds by Delaney Pinozzo, but it's actually interesting getting back to Samantha Hovey for St. Xavier. She played for Heartland Community College, and then she took a break as she went to SF Austin in Texas from volleyball, and now she's back playing volleyball here in Chicago for St. Xavier. There's a service error by Haynes. 2 points away from taking a 2-set-to-1 lead, the Cougars, which would be very, very important. It would take, it seems, all the momentum that CCSJ might have, and it might just throw that out the window. Camino sets up Pritchett. Far side for Jensen. Blocked down again by Keel and Pritchett. Jensen's going to get another try. Blocked again by the same combo. Van Domelin. That's going to go out of play. Deflects off the block by Pinozzo. Still a 5-point lead, though, so here comes Peyton Van Domelin. She's got to be practically perfect on these serves. They've only have 2 points to spare in this set. What a dig by Martinez again. Jensen. Here's Essence Keel. That's in. That is a beautiful spike by Keel. And timeout again. We're going to get a replay on this. This was perfect. I apologize. We got some technical issues, but if you could have seen that replay, it landed right in bounds by Keel. But CCSJ just keeping themselves back, or excuse me, keeping themselves in this game. And when asking Coach DeJesus about conference play and about how he wants his team to look heading into the season, they've had a rough start to the year, but there's still time. Conference play is only just beginning. And he said that he really wants to create a family within this team. And he wants an aggressive team. And that's actually something that Coach Hiersema for St. Xavier mentioned in the interview that I had with him about how CCSJ is an aggressive team. He knows that. They play aggressive every year. And his team has got to be ready for it. And let the mistakes go, not harp on any mistakes that they make. Jensen on the far side, and that was set up on a tee for Jenny Jensen. Easily, I would say that's got to be the easiest spike of the game that Jensen's had. Set point now, a chance for the Cougars to go up 2-1. Carrington Smith sends this. Haynes keeps it alive. Trying to keep this set alive with Keel, and that's out of bounds. And the set remains on go. 24-20 now. No mistakes for Essence Keel. She cannot make a single mistake. No pressure. Great setup again for Pinozzo. Pinozzo's going to get a beautiful opportunity. Kept up by the Crimson Wave. Jensen to finish things, and she does to end the third set. Jenny Jensen ends the set 25-20, closer than the last set. But CCSJ is going to need a big fourth set to stay alive as they trail 2-1. We'll take a break and come back for the fourth set after this.